So Troy Aikman, love the guy,
Didn't you just see him recently?
bro. Yes, that's what I wanted to get
Tell
to.
the story.
Because so all the way back when I was a kid, I think I'm older than you. I'm 35. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Okay. So Troy Aikman, Cowboys, 1989, right? Well, somewhere in there, I was a young kid, and I saw the press conference when he went from Oklahoma to UCLA, and I thought he was Superman because he had a little curl and he was a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
So I thought Troy Aikman was Superman for.
He does kind of
yeah.
have like a
And-
superhero
Yeah,
look.
good,
huh?
good vibe. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got a good vibe. So when he went to the Cowboys, my family was already Cowboys fans, so it was an easy transition.
Yeah.
And then I would see like all the commercials, Troy being this great dude and Troy being a good guy, yelling at his teammates, being the field general.
Mhm.
So to me, like, I was like, oh, that's Superman. So fast forward 30 years or whatever it is. The other day, what was it? Monday, I get a text from one of my best friend in life, Juan, and he sends me a picture of a schedule for Troy Aikman being in El Paso. So the last stop was Union Draft House in Sunland Park. So my fiance and she was like, we're going. Like, I don't care. We're going. And truth be told, I wasn't feeling the best.
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what, man? It's Troy freaking Aikman. Like, I'm going.
Yeah.
Even if I could just see him. So we get there and it's packed. And my fiance is like, well, you're good at making friends. Go make friends. And I'm like, all right, it sounds good. So I'm looking around, like, you kind of scope it out, like, who's my man? And then I found him, and it was this couple. So I just walked up. I was like, hey man, like, no disrespect, can me and my fiance just drink our beers right here? So when Troy comes, you can see him. They were the coolest people ever. They're like, yeah, go ahead, stand here. But by the time we showed up, like 3 hours early.
Oh, you walked up to them in line.
Oh no, they were. So at that Union Draft, there's the bar. There's like a standing area with like standing tables,
Mhm.
and then there's the sitting area.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They were at the bar.
They were right behind the bar at the
Gotcha.
standing tables. So I was like, I'm sure he's going to the bar. So I just want to be in the standing tables so I could just see him. I just
Mhm.
want to see him. And then I had a white Cowboys hat in the hopes that, yeah, I could probably get a signature or something.
Yeah.
Or just, get security to escort me out after I go dry hump his leg. However
Swipe
that
his sweat on your
so,
white hat. See, that's clearly where his sweat
exactly.
is.
I got it on video. But like, so by the end of the day though, me and my fiance had enough people to where we had like a little shelter,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was like a little U-shaped of us. So every time somebody had to pee or something, we'd swipe out something like that.
Yeah.
So somebody would take the spot.
Keep the spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we had these dudes being aggressive, and they were trying to push us. And then my fiance is the most like, she doesn't like confrontation. She's not really like if like 9 times out of 10, she's like turn the other cheek. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So she's real pacifist. She keeps me balanced. But she looks at me and she goes, "Be aggressive." And I was just like,
she wanted this moment for you.
I was just like, you know what, man? She's never told me that. In the almost 4 years that we've been together, she always says, "Calm down." She's never said, "Be aggressive." And I was just like, a switch just went off in my head because it was no longer for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
for us. And I needed this autograph
Yo,
for
back
us.
up.
Exactly.
Back
So
the fuck
there's
up.
this guy behind me and I'm just like, bam. I just stand there and I just push him back. And his friend's like, "Did that guy push you?" He's like, "Yeah." And the whole time in my head, I'm like, "Oh, crap. I just got his kicked
I'm
out."
in too deep.
Yeah. And then the guy was like, "What do you want me to do about it?" And they didn't do anything. So I was
Yeah.
like, cool. And then so Troy comes out. I mean, everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
And there's this older couple in front of us. And I tell them, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be leaning on your chair this whole time, like until he comes around." And the old man that was there, he was like, "That's okay, man. Like, just keep them off of our backs." And I'm like, "That's cool." And so we're there. Troy Aikman comes down. The first thing he does is start handing out beers. And I'm like, if Troy Aikman can hand me a beer, it's gonna happen. So I tell the older couple in front of us, I'm like, "Hey, I'm standing on your chairs. I'm sorry. This is just happening." So I stand on these chairs. There's just a crowd of people and my hand just peeks through. And then all of a sudden a beer touches my hand and I'm just like, I got one. And then I thought that was going to be the high point of the day. But then he goes back to the beginning of the bar and he whips out a silver marker and a black marker. So you can sign like blue stuff and then sign white stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts signing things. And I was like, "No, I got to get this signature." But while that's going on, these guys are pushing that poor old lady's chair and hurting her legs. So she tells her husband, I was like, hold on, I got you. So I grab the bottom of her chair and I pull it back into this guy's legs. And she's like, "Thank you." She's like, "What do you want to have signed?" I was like, "Well, I want to have my hat signed." And she's like, "Okay, we'll give it to him." So I give it to her husband. He gets my hat, and you're like, Troy, and he puts it like
right in front of him.
boom, right there. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then Troy grabs it, he signs it, and he's handing it back. I'm like, thank you, Troy. Thank you. And that right there, like, honestly, man, I'm still on cloud nine.
That's
like,
a pretty cool story.
That was 3
man.
days. Oh, man, I love that guy.
Think about all the things that had to go right for you in that story.
Oh, man, you have no idea.
And you could start with your wife, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because she's the one who pushed you to go.
Mhm.
She's the one who pushed you to stand up for yourself. That old couple, the people you ran into that held the
man.
spot where you guys used the restroom. Like that's crazy.
If I would have looked outside, it would have been Venus, Mercury, all the planets in a row.
Yeah.
Like, just waiting for it.
You
and
know,
I was
this
like,
is real right now.
oh, yeah. Yeah. And, bro, like, we'd been drinking for 3 hours, but that second I saw Troy Aikman, I was stone cold sober, man. I was 5 years old again.
Oh man,
it was amazing.
It's crazy how, like, when you go to that place, regardless of what it is, and people always make fun of sports fans for that reason, but I think that's one of the best parts of being a sports fan is you get so emotionally invested in the team, and then every now and then a player, and it's just like not a lot of people. Girls will make fun of it. I'm glad that you got someone that didn't. But I feel like my wife would have been the same way, by the way. Like, same exact, like if it was someone that I idolized. What a cool story, man.
But